I guess they gave you a number. I really don't remember. I probably should have told the story earlier. Hey guys, this is Early Life, and today I will be talking about a story that I need to talk about because it is an important time in history that everyone should know about. So to first start off about this happened a few summers ago, so this happened quite a long time ago. We're just gonna jump right into the story because it's very complex and you have to pay very close attention. So to start, we wanted to go on a vacation, and about this time my brother, of course he's a singer, and he had a passion to get on Disney Channel for a brief moment. He actually did a Disney audition here in Alabama, but it didn't go so well. He had to say a few lines and sing, but he kind of messed up and he was crying and like, oh man, I should have done better. And the guy was like, oh, you have a beautiful voice, you should have like said I want to sing instead of like say lines. So he messed up pretty bad at that one. So he wanted to audition for Disney again. He wanted to do it again because he's like, all right, I know I can do it this time. He looked up, are there any Disney auditions? And he found that there was a Disney audition in San Antonio, Texas. So my mom and dad was like, you know what? We'll just go to San Antonio, Texas for our summer vacation, and Courtney will get a chance to audition again for Disney, but this time he's gonna sing. He's like, I know I can do it, I know I can get this. Then they inform me, cause like they're not just gonna leave me at home, and they just go all parlaying out. So they inform me that we're going to Texas for the Disney audition and like a summer vacation. And at this time, I was still racing BMX. So I was like, hey, let me take my bike with me and I'll go to a BMX track while he's trying to do the audition thing. But of course, like we went to like a billion races back then when I was still racing, and everyone was tired of me taking my bike everywhere, and they pretty much hated that I wanted to take my bike everywhere and ride it. So it's like, yep, no bike, you're just going to go and you're going to be there. I'm like, you know what? I'm not okay with that. But anyway, I have no choice but to go. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna leave my bike here. And my brother, of course, he kept on saying, like encouraging himself in the deep inner sides of him that he will sing, and he will sing wonderfully at this Disney audition in San Antonio, Texas. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, whatever. Since I couldn't take my bike, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna audition just for the heck of it because I can't take my bike and I'm just gonna audition. They're like, what are you gonna do? My family pretty much thinks that I am untalented besides racing BMX. I wasn't even freaking talented at that. It was like, you don't have any talent. You can't act, you can't sing, you can't do anything. What are you gonna do? Play your saxophone? And even at that time, I couldn't even play my saxophone that well. So they're pretty much thinking I'm just a rock, just a freaking not even talented freaking, I don't know, just not talented. And they're like, why are you gonna try to do this? But they didn't let me take my bike, so I was like, all right, I'm going to audition. And then after I said I'm going to audition, this wonderful idea popped in my head. I was like, I will definitely antagonize my brother. I was like, what if I freaking get a call back and you don't, Courtney? I just kept on saying that, like, what if I get the call back and you don't? Like the whole ride to Texas, and this Texas trip, it was probably about 10-hour car ride something from here. So we packed up the car and we headed on our way, and it was a long trip, and I kept on saying, what if I get the call back and you don't? So of course we got a little jitters, like the pre-day jitters, like, all right, we're gonna get in Texas, and then we got like one day to like chill, and then the next day we have the audition. That next day, when the audition came, we both were going to audition, and we finally get to the place. We go in, and there are tons and tons of people auditioning for this Disney thing. And we're like, wow, you saw people of all makes. You saw people with crazy blue hair. You saw everything you can imagine. So we're just waiting in there, and they like call people in by groups, and it was insane. So once we got there in the place, we had to wait in line, and it was like a huge big waiting tank of people. and we waited in line, seeing all these random weird people, and then we finally got up there. And once we got up to the table where they were handing out these, of course I kept it because, like, I gotta say, I auditioned for Disney once. Um, it is pretty much just it's an audition thing, and it has like the little sample thing that we read, and we had to like we didn't even have to memorize it. We just had to read it. I mean, you could memorize it if you wanted to or whatever, and you just had to read it off to them. And our role was Alex. Our role was Alex. Everyone's role was Alex, I'm pretty sure. And we got that and we practiced, and we just sat there for a while because there was so many people in there. So they called this group of numbers, however you knew what your number was, and you go back. And once you went back, there was another waiting tank where they kept a group of kids because they wouldn't let the parents back there because their parents would be like, "My little Johnny did freaking amazing. Why didn't you give him a call back?" You know, you just leave the kids back there to flip out and cry or whatever they wanted to do if they didn't get a call back. So we go back there. I think me and my brother went back around the same time and got in the same holding room, and then we got called into a different room where we stood on a line. I went into a room and then my brother went into another room. So I don't know how he did at all. But once I got into that room, when they called me, I got into the room and we stood on a line. And one, you could like stay on the line and say your thing, or you can move up to the X and say your thing. I was somewhere in the line, obviously, because I was there. Some people were in front of me, so they did their little thing, and some people tried so freaking hard, it kind of scared me a little bit. I'm like, calm down, calm down. It's just an audition. You don't have to go all out for that. And then it came to me, and I'm like super not even serious about this because I'm like, I'm doing this for the heck of it. And I did my thing. I even messed up on the thing. I didn't have it memorized at all. I was just being silly, and I did it, and I was like, okay, what next? And then there was a few more people after me, and they did their thing. After that, she was like, okay, guys, that was great, blah, 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 blah. You can just go out the room now. And yeah, personally, I was like, I'm wondering, like, how do you get a callback? Like, how are they gonna let you know if you got a callback or not? So I walked out the room, and we turned around, and we went to go find our parents in this like little pre-stage area. So there was like, just imagine, like, big fish tank of people, and then outside, big fish tank of parents, and then another thing where all the kids and everything. It's like three different audition rooms. So I went over to the fish tank of parents and found my parents. It's like, how did you do? And I was like, I think I did okay. Like, I wasn't even trying for real. But I just kept on wondering to myself, like, how do you get a callback? Like, what is this? Like, how do you even do it? So as I was wondering that to myself, my brother comes out of his little audition room and he comes over. It's like, how'd you do? Blah blah. He's like, I did fine, I guess. I don't know. I was like, how do you know if you got a callback? And I'm just still wondering that to myself, like, how in the world do you freaking get a callback? So, you know, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ask the lady, how do you get a callback? So I walked out, and I was gonna ask the little guards that were there. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep on walking back, and maybe I'll see the lady that like auditioned me. So I kept on walking, just walking, and she was not even out there. Like, she was still in the room, I guess, but walked past the guards, and then I found a lady that auditioned me. I was like, hey, how do you know if you got a callback or not? She was like, well, we would have gave you like a little sticker or something, or we should be able to like can't tell you to come up. And it's like, hey, you did great, and you got a callback. And then she was like, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then she was like, you know what? She looked at me, like checking me out and everything. It's like, I was thinking about giving you a call back, actually. I was like, oh, really? And I was like, all right, then that's really cool. She's like, you know what? Hold on one second. And she went off and did something, and my parents come walking over by me, and they like, let's go. Like, what are you doing? We need to get out of here. We need to get home right now. We got a 10-hour drive back to Alabama. And they're like trying to rush me. I'm like, hold on one second. I'm getting a call back. Like, one second. I think I'm about to get a call back. And it's like, oh my goodness. And then she came back and like, she like started giving me these papers and all this stuff. And my parents came and was like, what is going on? I'm like, Mom and Dad, I just got a call back right here. Like, not even trying. I got a call back. And I was like, yeah. And then Holy freaking crap. So this is the paper that she gave me. She had to pick out a character that I had to actually review these lines. I didn't have to memorize this part either, but I was obviously Cole, and I had to practice these or whatever, and she gave it to me, and it's like, all right, you're gonna come back tomorrow. The next day was Sunday. You gotta come back tomorrow, and you just go do some blah 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 in your audition Sunday morning, blah blah blah, and you'll do that. So we did that, and I got the call back. If none of us got a call back that day, we wouldn't have stayed, but we stayed. So yeah, we were leaving the mall because it was inside a mall. Oh, so it was inside this mall right here, if you can see it. And yeah, it's all backwards or whatever, but it'll do. But it's inside that mall. So it was inside that mall, and we were getting ready to leave and everything, and my brother was PO'd off. Like, holy crap, he was so freaking mad. Like, that I actually got the call back and he didn't. And, like, what are the odds that I even got the call back? Like, what? How did that even happen? And he was so mad, and even to this day, he is still very mad. I like to tease him with it every now and then. But I'm just freaking outdone that that happened. So, then we left the mall, and my brother's still super, super mad. And, you know, we're on vacation, so, like I want to go to this go-kart place or whatever. The wait was too long, and apparently I had to practice my lines. And my dad took it like so freaking seriously. It was ridiculous how serious he took it. And I'm like, Dad, calm down. I am not going to be an actor for my career. And like he like got so upset because like I was misreading things and mispronunciating the crap and everything. It was so bad. My dad was a straight up drill sergeant about that stuff. And literally that night I was dreaming my lines. It was awful. Anyway, so after I woke up of a restless night of re-saying my lines over and over again in my head, my dad being a drill sergeant and me being partly nervous that I actually got a call back and actually have to make an effort this time. We get to the place and me and my brother keep on like going over lines over and over and over again. And we go into this like special room in the hotel. Like this was a hotel now inside the mall. It was a mall hotel slash auditorium type thing. This mall was freaking huge. So we go up in this special room like on this top level, and I go in the room, and there's this lady at this desk, and there's this lady over here on sitting on the couch, and there's a camera video recording me. And she was like, hey, blah blah blah. She's talking to me and all this stuff, saying some stuff, and it's like, all right, you ready, bro? I was like, yeah, I'm ready, girl. And so she started saying her lines. I started saying my lines. I didn't mess up not and bit, and I think I did very well with it. And then we talked a little bit after I got done. She asked me like some stuff. I'm like, I'm from Trussville, Alabama, bruh. And I told her about my BMX career at the time. Yeah, that was pretty much it. But we left, and my parents, of course, they couldn't come in there because some parents are crazy about that stuff. And they was like, how'd you do? I was like, did pretty good, bro. So we left and everything, and we went down to the bottom floor, about to get ready to leave. Then, before I left, I saw this one Asian girl that was very pretty, I have to say. And I saw her the day before as well. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ask her how she did. And she was like, oh, I did really good, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know how she did for real. And then I ended up asking her for a number, and I got it. And I texted her for a little bit and never spoke to her since. Tragic. And yeah, then that pretty much sums up the Texas trip, and we just headed home after that, and I have not got a call back since. So I could still get one probably, and I could not get one, but you never know. It's just something super interesting that happened to me, and it was freaking amazing. And the most ironic thing ever was it was so many people in there bringing guitars and all that crap, and none of them got to show off their singing abilities. None of them got to show off their musical and cleanness abilities or anything. So my brother's hopes of singing at that thing and going to another Disney audition was completely crushed, and it was obliterated at the point that I got a call back. Supposedly the most untalented person in the family got a call back from Disney. Out of thousand and something's people, I got a call back. I was one of those 30 that got a call back. This guy. Okay? So, to make a long story short, I put a whole bag of jelly beans. So, if you guys didn't understand the contents of this video, you need to eat and go to bed. Peace!